Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Give My Headpiece pod. Give My Headpiece pod? I can't even remember the name of my own podcast. It's the Give My Head podcast. It's episode 6. If this is your first time, welcome. Where have you been? We are delighted that you've joined us. Give My Head podcast basically talks about comedy, life, politics, and anything that tickles our fancy in the world of Northern Ireland. This is episode 5. Just a couple of things that I need to plug. I'm on tour at the minute with Tim McGarry's Ridiculous. Please get your tickets now. We're all over the place. Bangor, Armagh, Lisburn, Enniskillen, Belfast. Just, follow the link below or go to David Hull. Yeah, sorry, okay, it's me. I apologise. I'm here with my comedy colleagues.
Michael McDowell. And Damon Quinn. And by the way, is it not episode 6?
Is it episode 6? What did I say?
Yeah, you said 5.
Did I? Oh, sorry. I'm my head's melted at the minute. I don't know why. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest on the show this afternoon, today. My head is melted. Somebody else.
Do you want to start again?
We
start again.
You shouldn't have had that double whiskey before you come on first thing in the morning.
Hello and welcome to the Give My Head podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we're absolutely delighted to have one of the stars of Give My Head piece on the show. It is the wonderful Mr. Paddy Jenkins, ladies and gentlemen. Paddy. Oscar winning. Paddy, before we start, we brought you on here for one reason only, and it's to apologise publicly and to ask for your forgiveness, because last March, you could have been at the Oscars in LA.
That's right.
And where were you exactly?
Downpatrick.
Yes. Downpatrick Arts Centre.
Downpatrick Arts Centre, yeah.
Playing the Give Me Head piece show to about 120 people.
Yeah.
I could have been on the red carpet. You could have been there with all the A-list stars.
The funny thing...
Picking up your Oscar.
Yeah. The funny thing about...
You took it well, though.
I did.
Well, you're still talking to us.
The funny thing about that was we raced home from Downpatrick to my son's wee garage out the back, which he's transformed into a wee bar kind of a thing. And
has he got planning permission for that?
So the announcement was just about to happen for the best short film, and it won, and we were all
pandemonium.
Oh, brilliant, fantastic. So Seamus O'Hara, James Martin, Tom and Ross, the writers all went up on stage, and in the Kodak Theatre in Los Angeles, and there was a big cinema-sized screen.
I've been in a Kodak Theatre at the Oscars, but we lost. But just thanks for reminding me of that. But go ahead.
Did you know the big cinema screen that was up there? Well, whose picture was up on it? Ta-da! And I'm sure that everybody's looking up at the guys, and they're looking up going, who the fuck's that? You can just imagine De Niro and who the fuck?
The guy operates going, what slide did I put on there? I didn't get the right slide. Who is that?
It was for an Irish goodbye. Lovely wee piece. I mean, it was a beautiful wee film. And James Martin, God bless him, first Down syndrome person ever to win an Oscar. Did a brilliant job.
Yeah.
But when you got the gig, did you go, it's just another wee gig, or did you think, well, actually, this is very nice?
Well, it was. We had a great time doing it, and it's like everything when you're. Well, certainly me. I mean, the boys were on it longer. James and
you were the priest,
and James. I was the priest, but I did 2 half days.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we did the wee driving bit then, looking at the rabbit, and they made me the sing or something like that. And then the next half day, we went into the house and done the other wee bits. So, it wasn't as if you've been. I mean, I've seen it more times than I've been on
you read
it.
The script. You must have known it was a good script.
It was a cracking script.
Yeah.
It was a cracking script. What else? Yeah, but as I say, 2 half days, and you're like. But that was the other thing. The first thing was the Galway Film Festival.
Yeah.
So I said to Jared, come on, this is a good wee piece. We'll get down to the Galway Film Festival. Nowhere. Got nothing.
Right.
Back home again.
Got nothing? Didn't win?
Got nothing.
Really?
Yeah, stayed down there for the night and all that, and just said, oh, well. And that's when I thought, there's another one bites the dust kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the first one was the It's the BAFTA.
Right.
Yeah, the BAFTA.
Yeah, the BAFTA. So we went over to that.
Right.
Geraldine and I, and
Did we allow you to go to that?
No, you were in rehearsals with us.
Yeah, we did actually allow him to go to that.
we
Yeah,
did actually, yeah. So we went to there, and you know,
Good gig, BAFTAs, isn't it?
you know,
Not that we
there's-
would know. Really.
No, well, it's a strange kind of a thing, you know. You're out the back of the, you know, in the where everybody and Jamie Lee Curtis goes flying by, and you're like, right, and it's just a strange kind of a thing. So when it wasn't allowed, when you boys didn't allow me to go to the
No, it
to
wasn't
Los
us.
Angeles-
It was David Hull. David Hull Promotions.
David Hull, yeah.
David Hull, who does our tour, said,
He's not going. He put
no,
the foot down,
Paddy,
did
you
he?
go for 3 days, only no problem. By the way, can you reimburse everybody who paid for a ticket to see Give Me a Headpiece?
So I wasn't that fussed
Right.
about not going,
Right.
but I was excited to see how it would do.
Right.
And the fact that it won the BAFTA,
Yeah.
ooh, and then of course it did come. No, the only way you boys will give me any kind of time off is if I broke a leg or something like that,
Which you did.
which I did this
last
year.
We were on
This
tour.
year?
This
This
year.
year,
This
yeah,
year. We
yeah.
were on tour with Give Me a Headpiece, and we'd done 5 shows out of 28 or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Paddy rings me in the morning and goes, Tim, how are you? I'm all right. How are you, Paddy? Not great, to be honest with you. What do you mean, not great? I'm on my way to hospital here, actually. You go,
yeah.
I've broken my leg.
Well, no, that's not quite hard hat.
no. Oh, no.
I came down the stairs. I was doing a few wee things for my daughter, and I came down her stairs, and she had a shoebox on the stairs. I hit the shoebox, that leg went up there, and everything else went down on that leg. So, and I thought, right, if this pain goes away within 10, 12 seconds, I'm all right.
Yes, right. You would.
So, and it didn't. So I pulled my leg out, and it started to swing side to side.
Aye.
So knowing that I was on stage with you lads that night, there's no point in ringing Damon because he never answers his phone.
Yeah, that's
Michael will probably be on the tennis court. So I get my phone out at the bottom of the stairs. Tim, how are you? There's just a wee thing I need to let you know about. What's that? I broke my leg.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the punchline, Paddy? No. I broke my leg. I'm just about to phone somebody here to take me to hospital. And so you cancelled that night.
Cancelled the show. Where were we? Omar or Strabane or something? I can't remember.
And then you went on the next night?
Well, that's the thing, you see, because it's occurred to me that because you broke your leg and I had to go on and play you for a couple of nights
Yes,
until we
yes.
managed to get
He was brilliant.
someone else in. I had to do my Pastor Begbie impression. And
Look, I wish they had you. Why didn't you record it?
and but you actually think about it, I mean, because the year previous was the Oscar year,
Yes.
right? And unfortunately, I was in hospital that year, so I didn't do the show
That's
that
right,
year.
that's right.
But if I had been there, you could have went to the Oscars, and I could have done Pastor Begbie for one night.
Yeah. Well, it would have taken longer, wouldn't it, to get to Los Angeles and back? You might have had to do 2.
Well, maybe, yeah.
I love our fans. Give Me a Headpiece. I love them to bits. They're all wonderful. One thing annoys me. They keep saying, I love Pastor Begley. It's not Begley. It's
Yeah.
Begbie, named after Begbie in
Trainspotting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was a
Very much so.
horrible
Yes.
thug.
Yeah.
And you were typecast as a horrible thug, Paddy. You came in and did one line for us or something, with a couple of lines. In one
Well, the
show.
first time you employed me, I played a Channel 4 documentary maker.
You did indeed, that's right.
And Ali Ford, who is now Damon, was my camera woman. Christine Lampard.
Lampard.
No,
Lampard.
Lampard, but she was Blakely then. Used to put her microphones on and stuff like that. So that was, what, 90?
Where's she now?
What was that, 94 or something like that?
No.
98, 97, 98.
Yeah.
So and then he asked me to come in again, headbutt Marty, Uncle Andy, and say, don't ever hallucinate over my girlfriend again.
That's right, you were Commander Danny.
Commander, that's what that was a wee.
Commander
That was a
Danny,
wee. We could have had a wee competition there. What's Pastor Begbie's first name?
Oh, yeah.
Leonard.
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 So you're well known, like you're famous. Well, you're famous for quite a few things, but one of the things, one of your big parts, of course, is playing Pastor Begbie in Give Me a Headpiece.
Yeah.
And then you win an Oscar for playing a priest.
Yeah.
Do you think maybe you missed your calling?
Nothing to do with colours. I just did that self-tape that we're talking about. It's for a priest as well.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, sectarian priest. So I don't know.
Did you get into the acting very early on, didn't you? Or you were
pretty much.
Did you get in, were you into
Pretty
acting?
much.
You were into. Am I correct that you were a disco dancer as well?
Oh, you can back then. All right. Aye.
Well, I mean, you've won a lot of things now.
Yeah.
You've won, you've won the BAFTA, you won the Oscar, but you actually won the 1977 disco dancing in Northern Ireland champion.
That was it.
Disco dancer, wasn't it?
In Le Mans house hotel.
Yeah.
The Le Mans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you
no,
give us some of the moves now? There's a bit of space there if you want to.
No, my leg's still up the pop. But no, it was amongst other things. Brian Drew, back in St Agnes Youth Club back in the day, 74, 75, 76. And Sam Fitzsimons came along also. And he got me to do a recital. We used to have a parents' night, and the kids used to get up from the youth club and show, peddle their wares, as it were, show them, gymnastics,
turn,
do their wee turn or whatever. So Sam Fitzsimons got me to do this recital, James Young recital, which went something like this. It was Sammy McNally that done it. He was never done swinging the lead till one bloody day when he swung it, he hit me a blow in the head. Get up, says he, trying to lift me. I never heard one word he said. Are you deaf, says he, trying to shift me. But I wasn't deaf. Oh, no. I was dead. Well, of course, I went straight up to heaven. It's 3 million miles past the sun. I arrived at 7:15 in the year 2001. Met a big lad in the hallway. I says, I'm just in from Belfast. Is that so, says he. I'm from Galway, so they've let an old prod in at last. And it goes on and on and on.
James Young.
James Young, the genius of James Young. So I remember that from 1976, and I can't remember what I had for my breakfast this morning. we're turning in there, lads. You all hit 60 before me. I only hit 60 last week.
Oh,
Well, he couldn't remember this was episode 5.
Well, funny, our link with James Young is, of course, Olivia Nash,
Of course.
who's 82 years old and worked with
Unreal.
James Young in the
Aye.
60s and 70s, and
That's right.
still working good with her, and still has the timing that she credits to James Young, giving her that sort of level of timing, because he worked in the theatres and he was working the group theatre for years and years.
Yeah.
I said his comedy timing was just immaculate. And that's where she gets it from.
Yeah. Well, I've never heard James Young actually do that recital. I heard him doing another one where a guy sings a soldier song in Sandy Row or something like that. But and it was another cracker. But Olivia, wow.
Some people go to RADA like that. And some people went to the Guildhall and the Webber Douglas, but you and me, like we went to we learned our trade in the La Salle School Show.
Edenmore Drive.
Absolutely.
Indeed. I was doing panto, but you were doing sort of the Monty Python sort of
yes.
with Shawnee Allen and
Kieran Mulgrew, Jimmy
Kieran
Crickett's nephew.
Jimmy Crickett's
Yeah.
nephew. So,
Yeah.
but who was the teacher then for your end of things?
Louis Doyle.
Was it Louis?
Louis Doyle, yes, it was the great Louis Doyle.
Aye. But he also done the pantomime
Yes,
as well,
and he
and
did some
Danny
Angus
Fulton and all. He
Society
was the
and all
dame
that,
and
yes.
all that
Yes,
sort
did
of
all
art.
that,
School reunion going
No,
on.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Damon is responsible for all of this, I'm afraid, because he started it. We met him at Queen's.
Yes.
And he'd already written plays and sketches and shows, done shows in La Salle. hadn't you?
Yeah.
Done
Yeah, plays what Ernie wrote.
plays
yeah.
what Ernie
yeah.
wrote. And
Yeah,
he
yeah.
wrote a couple of very funny plays. They're still quite funny. And he roped us into doing bit parts for him. And then we had the
Ruined your lives.
Yeah, with my
And here
mother.
you are.
What would you'd be a top QC
Yeah,
now?
I'd be top. Oh, probably a judge actually.
Yeah.
I'd be,
Yeah.
never mind OB. I'd be a sir.
Yeah,
Probably.
You'd be Secretary of State or something.
I probably would have, yeah. And look at me now, trying to tout tickets in the Portico Heritage Centre on the 20th.
Are you doing down Patrick too?
I am doing down Patrick. I think so. Well, you can look online, ladies and gentlemen. They're all there.
Your poor mother was very annoyed with me.
Yeah.
because like McGarry's ended up, they were either like lawyers, doctors, or priests. Is that right?
Yeah, there was no showbiz in our family at all.
Yeah.
Until I came along, and even then, and we were late developers because he started it all.
Yeah.
You know, we kind of
I filled your head full of that nonsense.
You did actually.
fell into it. He wrote plays, and then we developed from there and did some stage shows and sketch. Went to Edinburgh a couple of times and had a fine time at Edinburgh. Weren't very good, but we had a fine time.
Two ceasefires and a...
Oh, that was way back. That was 95, yeah.
Wow.
But I remember my mother not being terribly impressed. She didn't like it. She thought it was a lot of shouting.
Uh-huh. But did you actually go, right, that's that, I'm leaving that behind me and we're gonna do this?
We had to at one point, yeah, because we were kind of doing it, being legally people and writing at the same time. It just was too much. I mean, every weekend we were writing, and just basically all the girlfriends were going, is there any chance? Is there any chance of us having some time?
Yeah.
So we decided, like, we'll go full time at it. And also, you need to go full time to have a chance at it. I think.
Yeah.
We were doing a radio show. We were doing first series of Perforated.
Right.
We were still practicing. We were still going into court during the day and then doing meeting at night and writing the scripts for Perforated and then doing the recording.
Yeah.
And it was starting to get very confusing, because I was like in the magistrates' court, like, in the morning, and I'd be standing up going, right, your worship, I appear on behalf of the defendant, and I can't speak until the green light comes on. Then I realised, we needed something needs to go here,
Yeah.
But you've been acting. You're full time actor from when? When did you start acting?
I said, well, full-time acting.
No, still.
I wish, but I'm resting at the moment. Isn't that what they say? If you're not working.
But for instance, you've been in the Panto how many years at the Opera House?
I've been doing the opera. When I get 9 shows in to this season, I'll have done 1,700.
1,700? Seriously?
All with the great John Lennon.
All with the wonderful John.
May McFetridge.
You've done 1,700.
1,700. I remember...
How many years is that? That's... What did you do?
The first one...
or 90 a year?
We did 100 odds one year.
100?
Yeah. We did... we were nearly giving out Easter eggs. We nearly went into February or something. It was ridiculous. But and I started the first professional gig that I did was in the Arts Theatre, Panto, when Peter Quigley was directing.
All right.
And I did the last 4 in the Arts Theatre. And what you used to do then was we'd go and see the Opera House Panto, and the Opera House ones would come and see the Arts Theatre one, and vice versa, and the Lyric, and you had crossed over because you knew who was in what and what have you. So I went to see the one in the Opera House, and I asked John to sign my programme. Mm-hmm. And he just wrote on it, won't be long until we're on the stage together.
Oh, right.
1,700 later.
1,700.
John's done 2,500, I'm nearly sure 2,500.
Wow.
And never missed one.
Never missed one. He has
Wow.
his own dressing room with his...
His own dressing room with
a bust. There's a
the
bust to him. I was on the trust of the Opera House when we
That's
did
right.
that with him.
That's right.
And he hasn't... Even the Ra blew the place up one
Yeah.
time. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Well, remember that, yeah. I'm going to say once. They blew it up a few
Yeah,
times, didn't they?
they
Europa
did.
and all that.
Yeah,
But the
yeah.
one time they blew a massive hole in the side of it. I mean,
Yeah.
but it still went on. They did it. Did they do it
I wasn't
somewhere?
there. I wasn't
But they
there.
did it somewhere
was
else.
just before my time. But that's where they planted the bomb because it had the most impact. Yeah. It had the Opera House on that side and Europa on that side, so you just blew the shit out
Was
of
it
the two of
about
them.
93 or something like that?
I think it was, yeah.
And he still didn't miss a show because they put it on somewhere.
Le Mans, was it again? We talked about it earlier, didn't they put it on Le Mans?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But John's amazing, isn't he? John Lennon. We'll probably get him on this sometime, but
Aye.
we're scared of him slagging us off because he's vicious. Like
He is.
He's vicious.
He's a very, very funny man.
He is.
He is.
Naturally funny.
And he walks out on that stage and, people love to get their they get ripped by him, you know, and they're go, it's like a badge of honor.
Yes.
He ripped the bollocks out of me there, you know. But nobody gets offended. That's the great thing about him. You know, he will rip you a new one and you don't get offended. All right, you put the head down and stuff like that, but
like you broke your leg and couldn't go on stage,
Yeah.
and I got a bit sick and didn't go on stage.
Yeah.
But I once remember the La Salle show we
Yes.
did. It was a reunion show we did.
Aye.
And John was booked for it, and he was getting his hips done or something like that, and
knees.
or his knees, whatever it was. He couldn't really walk.
Yeah, yeah.
And he came on. He was brought on in a chair, and he sat in the chair, and he did his routine in a chair, like, and he still had them rolling in the edge. You know, it's just like.
And he more or less done the same in the opera house as
Yeah.
well. I mean, I remember having to hold the Zimmer frame, you know,
Right.
and he. For him to break the leg, which is the old adage is that the leg is the curtain, and you hit it on your way onto the stage, and but yeah, he'd have been like that there, and then walked on, and you know, just
Soon as
big deep breath, and went out and ripped people's.
He tells a great story about warming up for the Ra once. That was it. He was at a gig. He was at a gig, and the Ra in a community centre, and the Ra wanted to give somebody 24 hours to leave the country. So he had to kind of literally introduce them. But he said there was a Ra man there who said, I'm not going to make me until after he's off stage. I said,
Right.
why? He said, because I was here last week and he ripped the arse out. He's going to do the same to me again.
Yeah, and there was some. I'm not saying a raw man, but it was maybe somebody, one of the Shinners or something. And he's there's such and such. I can't remember who it was. When he leaves, we all fucking leave. But he never cursed. But
he probably threatened the Ra man. No, I only need to be funny once.
yeah.
Well, he's some man. He's done 2,700 euros.
Something like that. I never missed one show. Not one. I missed 6, which was the day my daddy died, the next day, and then the day of the funeral. It's an hour story. But John managed to get to the funeral because it was early enough in the morning, and bloody blah, he came up and he shook my hand and sorry for your loss, Paddy, and bloody blah. I says, thanks for coming, John, here, you know, appreciate it and all that there, out of the little time that you have, you know. And he says, not a bother. But he says, is there any chance of you coming back on tomorrow? Because the fella's playing you shite.
And who was that?
Damon quit.
It was one of the ensemble, one of the dancers or whatever. But he had, but I knew, you know, he had a good enough time to learn the whole thing. You know, when I say the whole thing, probably wasn't all that big a part anyway. Yeah. But he was my understudy, so you know who your understudy is. And I said to him, I can't remember his name now. I said, look, I think my dad's on his way out here. You may get your head around that script there.
In a normal run, do you enjoy it, or you go, oh, Jesus,
oh, no,
70 shows, you're not going,
no.
I hate kids.
He says that about our show. Jeez.
Here we go again. No, it's no, we have a ball. You know, you jump into a routine like everything. You know, John and I. You know, we go and we do this first show. Usually, well, it's a 1:30 when the schools are on. It's a 2:30 when the 2 weeks of the Christmas time.
Right. Okay.
So, you know, I would bring in sandwiches and soup and stuff like that. There, we'll do the first show, and we go into the green room, eat our lunch.
So the days of nipping across to the Crown are gone.
They're gone.
Long gone.
Gone. Yeah. And absolutely not allowed anymore.
Don't I know it?
There was a time. There was maybe more than one or two. Especially for the boys in the pit, because they didn't care. Come on, you'll stay for another one. You know, there's the Wilson Shields, and you know, God, Jerry Rice, God rest him, and poor Al Wallace, Mark Doherty, all gone.
Don't say that. Don't depress us now.
I know, I'm not. No, not depressed.
Tell us about working with Brett Eklund. What was that like?
Brett.
Brett.
You're a big Rod Stewart fan.
I was a Rod Stewart fan, and I never mentioned him once.
You never mentioned him?
Never mentioned him
Is
once.
that because, were they divorced at the time? Were they?
Well, they didn't marry.
Oh, did they not? Were they just going out with each other?
No. They just went out with each other for a period in the early 70s or whatever. And then my wife, Geraldine, came down on the last night, and I think that was the first time that she met Brett. And it was the last night, and we have a wee soiree, we drink and say goodbyes and what have you. And Geraldine said to Brett, Paddy's a massive Rod Stewart fan. And she says, really? He never mentioned him once.
Charlie went, really? What were you talking about there, Paddy? Sweden?
Lanahan will probably tell this story when you get in anyway. Brett Ackling come on the stage in a chariot.
Right.
And Boo, who's
Boo
famously
Scott,
William Scott, his name is named Boo because he had to go Boo to Lanahan. So John said, "All right, Boo." So his mother calls him Boo now.
That's right.
But
his ma rang the opera house looking for him, saying, "Can I speak to William Scott?" They go, "No, William Scott here."
That's right. But Boo had to bring her on in a chariot,
Right.
so she come on with all grandiose and what have you, and completely forgot her lines and started speaking in Swedish. so Boo's he's got the wee helmet and all on, putting her on, and he hears her, hoisting, tating, fighting, horses. He just looked at Lana and went, fuck. And pushed her back off again.
I think that's the worst Swedish I've ever heard. I'm pretty sure that was German or something.
Probably
So you've also got a Rod Stewart shirt.
Aye. I do.
You love your music, don't you? You're a
do,
massive
he's a
music
You,
head.
you own a shirt that belonged to Rod Stewart.
Yeah, I was taxiing at the time in 1986 when Rod played the King's Hall for 2 nights. It was there both nights, but so what happens when you're taxiing? If you haven't got a job, if you're not busy, the other taxi driver jumps into the car and you sit and have a yarn and tell you over the radio, number 42, ticket to such and such a street. So all right, might see you later on. So this fella, I shouldn't mention his name because there's theft involved.
Let's just
But if
call him
you're
Stephen
watching,
Nolan.
if you're watching or listening, hiya Mickey. Mickey was working for Aiken Promotions at the time, who were promoting the thing. So went to the concert, blah blah blah, and sitting, no work to do, waiting on a job. Mickey comes over with a plastic bag and a shirt in it, and I didn't know it was a shirt then, but opened it up, now it was Rod Stewart's shirt from the night before. And still soaking of sweat and everything. And
How did he get it? Did he throw it in the crowd?
well, Mickey was working at it.
Oh, he nicked it?
So he nicked it. So he went into the Rod Stewart's changing room
And nicked the shirt?
and dressing room and nicked the shirt and gave it to me
Because you were a fan?
because I was a fan and
Right.
Mickey knew I
And were
was.
you a bit weird and did you wear it? No.
I would have watched it.
Didn't stick with it or anything?
No, nothing like that. So I was Catherine Hamnet of London.
Oh, right, yeah.
Pure silk.
Right.
It was about 300 quid's worth at the time.
But there's an after story.
There is an after story. So Rod's playing Stormont so that was 86. Rod's playing Stormont in 2002.
Right.
I'm in the front row with
2002?
sorry, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
okay, no,
2002.
that's 16 years later.
16 years later, I'm in the front row with the shirt on,
Right.
right?
You're not serious.
No joke. Rod comes down on the stage and he just looks at me and he goes, "That's my fucking shirt."
Rod Stewart's bought on a shirt
16 years later. "That's my fucking shirt." He didn't actually say it. He just looked at me. "That's my shirt." So I get there and I yell at him and he yelled at me back and all. 16 years later.
Have you still got it?
Still have it, huh?
All right, you didn't give it back to him, you thieving
No,
kid?
what was I going to wear?
Well, you might could have got the shirt. He didn't even wear it.
If I had a thought that in any way that he was going to remember the
What
thing,
was the shirt? What type of shirt was it? Wasn't it a
It's-
blue shirt? Like,
no,
it's a blue
no,
shirt.
it's
orange.
no, it was it's pure. It's buttercup yellow.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Right.
And it's pure silk. And the length of it, like, I mean, it nearly goes to... Unless you're
All right.
tucking it in, like...
All right.
I mean,
Also, do you think I'm sexy kind of shirts?
yeah, not really. I mean, he did wear it for an entire, maybe, tour, let's say. Right?
You nicked it on.
And he had it on with this...
Been looking for that for years.
And he had it on with this pink suit. So I went... If we were to get a video, I could show you actually what it looks like. But
I remember go back in 1986. Fucking stole my shirt. 16 years later.
16 years later. So that's a good wee story.
You're like Van Morrison. You stole any of his stuff?
No,
Or, you wouldn't dare. Would you?
No. My wee friends backing vocals with Van, Jolene. Jolene O'Hara is doing very well with him at the minute. Yeah, she's and also is playing Captain Hook this year.
Wow.
First female Captain Hook.
All right.
In
the pantomime?
In the pantomime.
Oh, excellent.
I've noticed that you're in a happy position now where when we're out and people recognise you,
Yeah.
you have to work out what they're recognising you for, because some of them say Begbie, but nice. Quite a lot of them say
Begley?
are Begley, yeah. And but it's happy now, isn't it? I mean, it's happy from Blue Lights. You're going to get that, and then you're going to be you're in Hope Street now as well. You're doing
I've just done a wee stint there on Hope Street. That was funny on the way here, all the names. But no, a guy says to me, I was in Kelly's for a quick pint yesterday, and the guy says to me, "Where do I know you from?" I said, "I have no idea." You know, because you don't, well, you know.
Oh, it could be nothing, darling.
No, I have no idea.
You were on that big screen at the Oscars.
No, so I'm waiting on one of the ones.
There he goes, down Panda Community Centre.
So I'm waiting on one of the ones that you can actually see my face rather than a hat and a moustache. Because I got away with the anonymity was great, you know.
Begbie.
And that's what he said. Give me a headpiece, isn't it? I went, yeah. I thought he was definitely going to say it's Blue Lights or it's an Irish goodbye, but no, it was yourselves.
The pastor.
The pastor.
He's massive. The pastor is one of the favourite characters now. People always say was about Begbie.
Aye.
You did a great job for it. You invented that list for us as well, didn't you? That kind of thing.
Aye, well, it was...
It was pre-Jimmy Bryson as well, just to be clear. Now we didn't.
I know. I was listening to the podcast the other day, and you said he's the funniest Protestant. I'm just looking at the screen, going, "I've never heard of fucking Jimmy Bryson." Like. But yeah, I kind of. But I had to do something because at first more
was 2 lines.
It was two. No, don't ever hallucinate over my girlfriend again. Whack. Because we had the rehearsal on the Monday morning. And invariably, you go on and do the whole week with all the different things.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was the last line of the show, I believe.
It was indeed.
So we all had to read through and blah, blah, blah. And you all went, right, okay then. See you on Friday then, Paddy, Friday night. And that was it, right. So I spent the whole week going, what am I going to do with this? You know, to make a kind of an impact or whatever, you know. So I give him the speech impediment, and then.
And that one line we went, that's very funny. Get him back.
Get him back, and we'll make him a pastor, and so I just give me the script, and I just sort of Begbie-ize it, which what I know you guys are the plot guys, and you're the wordsmith. So I have to do something with him because Tim knows everybody's lines. You'd be having a scene with him, and he'd be mouthing the words back to you.
I have this terrible habit.
Oh,
I didn't realize.
You still do it.
You still do it?
Still do it. You were recording when I'm going, what did you do?
So I turned the
When
line.
other people are speaking, I go,
So I turn the line back to front and then say it out, so you don't know where the fuck I am. So you just have that perplexed look on me. I didn't write that.
get it right.
So you know, we've had some great times. Like that's you say what 98. Where are we? 20.
Oh, give me a headpiece.
Years,
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Certainly over 20 years.
4 years, yeah. between that and you've been very good to me, lads. I appreciate it.
Apart from stopping you go to the Oscars.
Yeah.
And perforated Ulster and all of that.
Yeah. So, but the Blue Lights has done all right, hasn't
It's
it?
getting bigger and bigger, isn't it?
well.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
just it's massive, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
and
it's-
He's coming back for the 3rd and 4th series, is he?
Well, I was talking to Declan actually a couple of weeks ago about another matter, and he said the character's lovely and blah blah, and he says there's 3 and 4 series. You'll be in one of them.
Right.
So, and there's obviously clearly then one I won't be in, but it's strange wee one where to go with that character.
Yeah.
You know, what's the storyline there? You know, I know he ended up in a soup kitchen and.
Yeah.
Then his good friend.
But it was very emotional. I mean, people were saying, credit you, great performance and all. Everybody was saying it was an amazing performance. Who was I speaking? Louise Gallagher, who's of course behind it. Said Paddy was incredible. You know, so you'd be very proud of it.
I am. You know,
Now, you made us laugh, but you've also made us cry because you did the part in Brent Smith.
Yeah.
I remember you did the audition for that, and you'd us all sitting in tears when you were doing the part of the father.
For people can't remember, we did a drama about Brenton Smith called Betrayal of Trust. Brenton Smith, the notorious paedophile priest, who was the first one to kind of be discovered in uncovered in '94, and it was the one that lifted the rock, and we went, he was the first one to be jailed, and then it was an avalanche of hundreds of different priests, and there was one family, and obviously we will not name them or whatever, one family who basically fought to get Brenton Smith arrested and imprisoned. And we did this 2-part drama, and you played the father.
Yeah, and you got me to meet him.
Got you to meet him,
Right.
and they were very impressed, you know. And it was, I mean, it's one of the bits of work that we're very, very proud of, you know.
And you were known for comedy.
Yeah.
You know, at the time.
But you come in that day.
I know, but
and you had to do the script with us, because in those days it was live auditions.
That's right.
No taping.
That's right.
You came in and did it for us there and then. And you had us sitting in tears at the end of it all.
But and I remember going, I want this part, lads.
Well, you got it. You got it that day.
I did, but I worked hard for it, you know. And it's, you say you work hard for it. It's what's in you. That's what makes you want to be or do the job that you do. Is, you know, take on different challenges and, you know, try and make them your own and stuff like that. But no, I'm pretty.
This is one wee family from the West. That's all I would say about it.
Yes,
They literally brought down the government and the Catholic Church through their own bravery, and it was it's a horrible story of Brenton Smith abused children and stuff like that, and they were the one family because everybody was covering it up, everybody was doing nothing about it.
That's right.
And they just kept fighting and fighting and fighting. It was
Met him a month or two ago, actually.
Yeah, and they brought down the government as well, brought down the Irish government, and
That's
it's one of those literally. We were talking to we're doing the long and the short of it, talking to Dermot Ferder, the historian who's written a piece about Ireland the last 25 years from '95 onwards, and that's a major part of it. This is the bit that kind of. The collapse of the Catholic Church from '95 all goes back to Brenton Smith.
Yes, it was Albert Reynolds' government that collapsed, wasn't it? Over there.
It's still available, is it, online? Can you see Brenton?
Oh, yeah.
Betrayal of Trust, if you look it up online. It was on RT and it was on BBC, and they got
It's been on RT quite a few times.
Brenton Smith, and Ian Beattie plays Father Brenton Smith.
And of course, and Chris Moore. Of course, it's based on Chris Moore's book, which is the journalist who brought the story, and you know, he's one of the few journalists who can, like the guys in the Washington Post, they brought a government down. So, you know, it's a pretty amazing story. Yeah.
Yes, he's a great investigative journalist.
Yeah.
Yes, we've cheered ourselves up rightly there, lads. Well done. I'm on tour, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. There's a couple of guys.
But it was a brilliant performance.
No, that wasn't. It was a superb performance.
And because I directed it, and it was. I mean, there was points where you just couldn't look at the camera. I mean, there was times, and Damon will tell you, like I just turned and walked out. It wasn't much of the camera because it was so powerful.
Yeah, it was all in that wee
house.
Tiny room.
Wee house.
It just was so compressed.
And I remember speaking to the mom, you know, and where did this happen? He said, up there. Yeah. You're like, you know, the staircase was like from here to the top of that curtain. You know, and that happened. It was. But Maria Connolly.
Great.
you know. But we're in that wee room for, was it 3 days?
Yeah, 3 days slowly shooting.
3 days solid, and wasn't a tear left.
No,
and,
it really was. It really was very powerful.
It was. Yeah. Anyway,
Back to the comedy.
back to the comedy.
Yeah.
So look, we've a new tour coming up of Give Me a Head Piece.
Yeah.
We have a Christmas special,
Yeah.
obviously, which you'll be in, obviously. How are you with stairs these days? Do you go down? Do you hold the rail when you're going down? Has your daughter been told never to leave anything on the stairs
Never
these days?
leave anything.
It was a shoebox, wasn't
It
it?
was a shoebox. Yeah,
And
and
you were-
it just started the cartwheel. That leg went up there, and everything went down on the other one.
Well, she had bought new shoes, but she was taking them back or something.
I don't know.
Put them in the middle of the stairs. and
Wasn't
you
in the
could-
middle either.
oh no,
no,
well,
it was just on the edge.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
And you stepped into the box. And
I
that was it?
stepped onto the box. It started the cartwheel, and away we went, and that was it.
And no drink was taken.
Not
No
a,
drink
not
was
a
taken.
drop.
Well, first thing in the
sure.
morning. Like,
It's not like party here.
Aye, well, that's true. But I was on stage that night, like, so. Well, I thought it was.
Yeah. And a big shout out to Marty McGuire, who did a great job and
So
had
he
to
did.
fill your
He
boots,
did, yeah,
which
yeah.
So he
is they're
did,
big
yeah,
boots
yeah.
to fill, but he did a
which is
Yeah.
great because we've invented a brother now for
Yeah.
big,
It's true.
Begbie.
It's
So
true.
I mean,
There's a
that's
plot line there,
Oh,
isn't there?
absolutely, yes.
There's a plot
Yes.
line. The Begbie brothers.
Yes.
The Begbie
Yes.
brothers.
The Begbie-
The Cray twins, the Begbie brothers. You know, I mean, there's a lot of potential there.
Your stand up was great too. That
What? Stand up was great.
We came and seen it. Came
That's
to
right.
see,
You can, well, it was
at the
weird coming to
Opera House.
watch Give Me a Head Piece live when
Yeah.
you haven't been in it every
Yeah.
year for 20 years.
I know, but I remember your stand up. And we were just talking about your stand up the other day, where you had to wear a string vest and a pair of tricolour underpants, and there was a guy heckling you most of all.
Yeah.
Every time you come on, he was fucking rah, 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 rah. And then you went on, then he come back on, rah, rah, he was fucking still. And you come out on the stand up bit that you do, and you went over to him. And you said, about 20 minutes ago, I was standing on a stage in a string vest and a pair of tricolour underpants. And I'm still not the biggest dickhead in this fucking room. That was the end. That was the end. Do you remember that?
It's funny.
Nice subtle health
Put down to brain. He's just going okay. And he's like, no, that's it. He's really clever, wee witty ones, and then he just goes, fuck off.
That's right, that was quite witty.
I don't do heckling.
Normally you would just say, shut the fuck up.
I don't like hecklers. No, don't heckle. Shut up and listen.
So the other thing got me about Tim.
Apart from the time there was one brilliant heckle,
Yeah.
there was time I was at Dad was putting on when Dad had to put a Union Jack on a table.
Right.
The Queen or something was coming,
yeah.
and I had to throw this Union Jack on the table, and it went quiet, and somebody shouted, "It's upside down." I went back. How the fuck would I know?
He was going about swearing. I remember he always has
I
this thing.
do, yeah.
He comes into us and he goes, lads, you need to cut the swearing. It's a lot of swearing now. You're throwing a lot of fucks in here. And a lot of
Paddy especially
bastards,
now.
Paddy,
You especially Paddy now.
So,
No more swearing.
he goes on the stand up and Paddy just starts writing, going, tick. Fuck, Tim. What the fuck? How's the fuck going? How are you thinking? 2, 3. And he got the 50 fuck in 20 minutes time.
Yes, yeah. I will cut them down, but I do like swearing on stage.
Yeah. Is it a release?
Well, there is. Yeah,
Well, count up how many.
Well, no, I will cut them down. If you come to see Ridiculous on stage, and I promise I'll not be. Yeah, I do swear too much on stage. I admit that, but it's it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
This is like a Tourette's stand up, isn't it? I mean,
Well, 50 something was it in
Yeah.
20 minutes?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
It was just him going 1, 2.
Running out of hands here, lads.
All right, well, fuck you. Paddy, thank you very, very much for being on the Give My Head podcast. Episode
Six.
Six.
Yeah, not Alzheimer's yet. Tim.
We haven't got I haven't got Alzheimer's yet. As I say, if you want more, subscribe. Links and all of that are below.
And Paddy, will you make one promise? If you come back on, will you wear your Rod Stewart shirt next time you come on?
I will.
Perfect.
100%.
Paddy, thank you very much.
Been a pleasure, lads. Thank you.